Hello! On today's Let's Stitch, we're going to make the Koroks from the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Super easy to make. You just need some old socks and some felt from your local craft store. You're not going to believe how easy this one is. Where are you going? Why are you walking away? Come back. No! No! No, but I want to show you the thing! So this project really is a breeze to make. It's only going to take you about 2 to 3 hours, but you are going to need some wood-like socks. You're going to need some leaf-like felt, any color: green, yellow, brown, pink. You'll need a pair of scissors. You'll need assorted thread, all colors of the rainbow. You're going to need some stuffing. You're going to need a felt tip marker, and you'll want some tie-dye. And you'll also want a needle. And also not pictured, you want some rubber bands, a pin cushion, and you're going to want a scrap pin. So let's get this party started. Okay. First, I want to show you this argyle sock that I used. Now, argyle is obviously not a naturally occurring wood pattern, but when you're making dolls, you get to take a lot of liberties. Looks cute. So see, there it is. It's still got the same familiar Korok shape. It's got the nice leaf pattern from the games. And I want to show you where the tie-dye comes in. I've got this $5 sock that I got out of the ladies section of a Target. It's got a really nice texture. It's already sort of birch-like in its color. But we want to add a little bit more color. So I've got this standard tie-dye that I got from a craft store just sitting around the house. This is green, but I also used some red. I also used some coffee to stain this one sock. It's not going to be as vibrant as dye, but you already have coffee sitting around the house probably, so you've got a lot of options, but the method is the same. So you'll take your sock, and you'll want to take your rubber bands, and you'll make your pleats just by folding it all the way up the sock like so. Make sure you wrap it up tight with the rubber bands. The tight seal is what gives you that tie-dyed look, because the ink and dye does not penetrate into the cracks. So you'll go over top of your pleats, just like that. And I put mine in a little Tupperware container, ran some water over top and sort of swooshed it around. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Let that soak for a few hours, let it dry out. The results of my experiments were varied, but I did get some good things out of there. This was a test. Didn't turn out so well, but I learned. I like this one. I'm probably not going to use it. I really like the cherry one with the pink, and this coffee stain one, which I showed you earlier. That's the one we're going to start out with. So we'll scoot these out of the way, and let's get started on our leaf boy. Take your scissors, and starting on either end of the sock, you'll cut the little legs out. You just want to cut a small semi-oval out of there. And put that in your scrap bin. Save that for a little bit later. See that? It's practically done. So, okay, we want to take the top now. And this is where you can use your imagination as well, with the swoopy branches on top. And now we can really start getting to work. So first thing I want you to do is take your sock, and you're going to flip it inside out, just like that. And I'm going to teach you how to thread the needle in case you don't. Take one end of thread, run it through the eye of the needle, then take both ends, wrap once, twice, thrice round the needle, pull down, and it knots itself. I'm starting my stitch on the bottom with the feet, and at the beginning of every stitch, you just want to make sure that you anchor your thread, which just means that you knot it a couple times at the beginning, once or twice, and the stitch I'm going to show you is called the running stitch. Super easy. Let's go, baby! Take your needle through what is side A. It will come out on the other side, side B. And you're just running it through. You're just weaving in and out. It's simple as that. Side A, side B. And you just zip it up. Zip, zip. Now, the reason we turned this sock inside out is because we want the stitching to be on the inside of our doll, not on the outside. If you were to do this right side out, then you'll have all your frayed edges sticking out of your doll, which could be an artistic choice, but it's not what we're going for. So keep it flipped inside out if you, want to follow me. But you don't have to follow me. This is freestyle. You can really, do whatever you want. If you want frays on the outside of your doll, then go ahead and do that. Just make sure it's secure. At the end of your stitch, you want to anchor off as well. On the top side, same deal. Just use your running stitch. Now, I want you to leave a hole at the center of this head so that we can put our stuffing in. So just do both your sides, run it up to the middle, and then leave a hole, just a bit bigger than like a thumb's length. Then you'll just flip it right side out again. You might have some small problems with the tiny twig-like appendages. To get those fully out of there, you'll just want to stick, like a small pen or something in there to help you get those out. Just be ginger with it. You don't want to rip the seams open. Just make sure the object is blunt. Like I said, a pen or a marker or something. Whatever. Here's the part that I like, the part where it really starts coming together. We're going to use that stuffing, baby. Take the little bits of stuffing at first, just so we can get that evenly into our appendages. You'll just stick a little bit inside at a time. You'll not want to be too hasty with this. Just put it in small chunks in general, so that way you're getting an even distribution throughout the doll. This one can be a little bit lumpy though. Again, this thing is so easy because you're just making little tree people. It really can be up to your discretion as to how lumpy or not lumpy this tree is going to be. Swoop it through, just slurp it, just stuff it on up. Once you feel like the doll's been stuffed to your satisfaction, we have to stitch up the hole. But we don't want to use the running stitch because now we're on the outside and we don't want any frays to show. So I've got another stitch for you. It's actually my favorite stitch because it gives you a really nice even seam. This is called the ladder stitch. Run the needle from side A to side B like the rung of a ladder, and then up like the leg, and then across like the rung again. Up like the leg, across like the rung. Easy as that. I like to stuff as I go, so that way I can see the form as I'm sort of sculpting it, as you will. So that's why I really like the ladder stitch, because I can stuff it and then still get the even seam that I'm looking for. Now it's time to take those little scraps that we have of our sock, and we're going to make the arms out of those, like so-ish. We'll just piece them together, cut the little ends off, so that way you create a shape that you're going for, sort of arm-like, branch-like, whatever. You want the outside facing in on both of these sides of your scrap. Running stitch on this, obvs. And you'll just want to run those around the outside, leave a little hole at the end of it. Flip them inside out, like you did the body of the sock. Stuff. Stuff it. Stuff them both. With your little arms in hand, you'll stitch them on with the ladder stitch. Real cute, real easy, bae, but we ain't done yet. Put this to the side for now. Take one of your pieces of felt, make sure it's folded over. Let's cut it up. Let's cut a rug. Let's cut a felt rug. Let's cut it into a star shape, like that cute little star Korok. Oh my god, dude, so glam. Once you have the shape that you want, take the top part of your leaf and cut the face into it. That little jack-o'-lantern, the lovely little charm that all of those Koroks have. I'm just folding mine where I want the cut to be, and that'll help me get the scissors in there a bit easier. Alright, now take some black sock, black fabric, anything you want to stick in between those two pieces of felt. I'm cutting it out so that way I don't have any black showing along the seams. We just want to keep it tight. Like that. Yeah, basically. So stick that approximately where they're gonna go. You can sort of adjust as you're stitching along. Before I stitch all that together, I want to use my marker. I'm using a Prismacolor. It's a warm gray, 60%. Now, Prismacolors are $3 to $4 per marker. I just have a lot of Prismacolors lying around the house, so that's what I used. But you can use a cheaper marker if you like. Just make sure you get some value in there. Start kind of light, wash it over the felt, and then get darker as you go along. Just like that. Yeah. So peaceful, man. Some pins really come in handy at this point to hold your pieces of felt together, so that way you can stitch it. You're going to take your running stitch again, and this is going to be actually exposed this time, but it gives you a really cool finish if you do the running stitch here. As you can see, my needle is curved. I'm using a curved needle just because I already had yellow thread attached to that needle, so I was like, whatever, not gonna waste it. This is all about not wasting. It's about taking what you already have and making something new. You know, just like a tree. Just like the great Deku tree makes friends out of himself. You know, you're your own best friend. You're all you have in this world. You're just a tree waiting to be a new tree. That's all I'm trying to... Oh, come on, what the... Use your running stitch to create the veins of the leaf as well. That'll give you a nice effect. It'll give you a little quilted pattern to it. So right here, when you get to the black part of the mouth, you obviously don't want to put your stitching through the mouth. No problem. Just go strictly through the underside, your side B. So that way you're not bringing your thread out the other side on side A. And then just come on up. Come on up, baby. Stitch around the eye holes, mouth holes, any relevant holes on your face. Just want to make sure that the black pieces don't fall out or get sort of dislodged in there. Keep those secure. Keep your leaf happy. Keep your Korok happy. We are getting really close. Looking, just beautiful. But we're not quite ready to stitch that face on yet. We've got to put the nose on there that the leaf attaches to on the tree, I guess? But I'm not really sure. But anyway, take a little bit of your remaining scrap and cut a tiny little triangle out of there. We're not going to stuff this one. It's tiny enough that the fabric is enough to keep it rigid, keep it full. So we'll ladder stitch the piece together, and we will ladder stitch it onto the leaf face. You're gonna, because it's so small, see some frays on the bottom. Just be diligent. Keep it as seamless as you can. Ladder stitch the leaf onto the face of your Korok. This is also going to be something that depends on the shape of your leaf, the size of your body. You'll just want to make sure that the thread doesn't show, but pretty simple. Now, that's a friend if I ever saw one. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's super easy to make this out of really any shape you want. I've got the heel of a sock that I dyed for the cherry colored Korok. And so we can make him sit down like a little tired cutie. Just cut the feet out the same as you did before. Another fun shape, another fun color for your Korok. You really do have a lot of possibilities when it comes to making these Korok buddies. I mean, I've got 3 right here. Very similar technique, but came out totally differently. It's fantastic. And they're all just so beautiful, man. Anyway, I'm gonna kiss these little boys goodnight. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I spent all day working on these, and now I'm gonna go to bed.